De'Aaron Fox is off to a blazing start this NBA season, averaging right around 29 points, 5 boards, and 5.5 assists a game, including a couple of monster efforts of 49 and 60 points earlier this month of November. Today we tried to take his NBA 2K25 stats to create a build. Let's head over there right now and check out this swipe-up build. What's good, everybody? It's your boy JD back with another NBA 2K25 exact player build for you, and you guys like the Jason Tatum build and asked for me to do some more of these NBA 2K25 builds using their 2K stats. So we're going to do De'Aaron Fox today. All I ask is that you drop a like in the video, subscribe if you're new, and let's get right into this swiper build. Now for this particular build, we are going to make it at the point guard position. De'Aaron Fox is listed at 6'3", 185 pounds with a 6'7" wingspan. So to stay true to the build, that's what we're going to do when we make this one. I think you could actually make this looking at the stats and put the wingspan all the way up to like 6'10 or 6'11 if you wanted a little bit longer arms and still get all of the attributes that you're looking for. But like I said, to try to stay as true to form as possible, we're going to go right with his exact stats here. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, first things first, we're going to start down here with the physicals. Again, some of these NBA player builds are really tough to do just because of the, the speed. Close shot is always a tough one to do. Some of the other different attributes. But as you can see here, he has listed at a 97 speed and a 93 agility. Now, I know that's going to be pretty tough to replicate, but in this game, I think we can get the job done, and we'll still get like the shades of and doing all of that stuff here. We're going to go with an 87 for the speed, and we're going to go an 84 for the agility. I didn't want to go too low on this. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox, very fast player getting around the court, all that good stuff. So we want to make sure we have enough speed on here, enough speed, agility, all that good stuff. For the strength itself, you see he has a 46 strength, so we're going to go right to a 46 on this one. Again, this is a build based on his NBA 2K25 attributes. If you want to tweak it and make it your own type of a build, by all means, definitely do that. Like I said, we're just trying to emulate an exact player build, or as close to it as we can possibly replicate in the builder here. Another one of those stats I want to talk about right here is going to be the vertical. He has an 84 vertical in this game, and because this build isn't necessarily going to have contact dunks or like chase down or anything on it, I want to put enough vertical on it to be effective, but also don't want to go too crazy because I think we need to save some attribute points to put in other places. So we're going to go 72 on the vertical for this one. That's going to end up getting us gold aerial wizard when it's all said and done. It's going to be enough vertical to get our dunks down and do all of that different type of stuff. So 72 on the vertical. Now let's go ahead and move up here. We're going to go over to the finishing first. Now close shot is one, like I said, I just talked about. Very tough to replicate. An NBA player is going to have a very high close shot. Most of them are up in the upper 80s to 90s. Based on where we're at with the build, with all the other stats, I like to throw in some key stats that we really want to try to match as close as possible, and then we kind of fill in the blanks. This is one of those kind of more of a fill-in type of an attribute. We're going to go up to 77 on the close shot. Again, nothing too crazy here. You're going to be able to get the job done if you get the ball down low. You need to go up with a quick layup or something like that. So 77 on the close shot. Now for his driving layup, he has a 97 driving layup, which is pretty crazy, and also something that would be very tough to do and still get all of these other attributes that we're going to look for. So we're going to take just a little bit off of that one. We're going to go up to an 85 though. I feel like that'll still be a good solid amount of layup to have on a build like this. We'll finish all the different badges. We'll come back after we put the stats on there, but I think 85, based on the way this game plays and everything like that, will be pretty solid. You can see that he has an 80 driving dunk, no contact dunks or anything like that, but an 80 driving dunk will be able to get the job done. If you're cutting to the hoop, trying to finish, not necessarily the traffic, like I said, you don't get the contact dunks, but 80 will get you a lot of very nice dunk animations and everything like that. Moving down to the standing dunk, you can see he has a very low standing dunk, only a 25, so we're not going to do anything with the standing dunk itself. And then the post control, again, pretty low on this build. De'Aaron Fox is not somebody who's going to be down on the post bullying, people around and different things like that. So we had some extra attributes left over. We're going to bump it up to a 37. If you want to take this off and put it somewhere else, a little more free throw, block, offensive rebound, anything like that, feel free to do that. But going back and looking at the badges here, pretty solid. you do get the gold aerial wizard that I talked about. You also get silver float game and silver layup mixmaster with that 85 driving layup. You're also going to get access to some nice layup animations, different things like that. So I think we have enough on there to make the build, plenty effective. And then we just talked about the 80 driving dunk. You do get bronze posterizer on here. And then that gold aerial wizard because we put the 72 vertical on there. So you're going to be able to catch lobs. Like I said, you're going to be able to finish when you're cutting to the hoop and everything like that. Just not going to get the crazy contact dunk animations and different things like that. Moving down, looking at the rest of the badges, you don't get anything too crazy. The Impluckable is going to go up when we put some of the playmaking on there. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the finishing. Moving down to the shooting, De'Aaron Fox, obviously a very good mid-range shooter, also a pretty solid three-point shooter. You can see on here he has a 91 mid-range. So if we take this all the way up to a 91, it would be pretty solid. But I think what we're going to do is end up putting one more attribute point on here. You can see by doing that, we get the gold Deadeye, which I think would be a very important badge to have on a build like this. So just going from that 91 to the 92 will get us that gold Deadeye. Moving down to the three-point shot, you see he has an 80. So we're just going to leave that rate at 80 for this particular build. And then the free throw, also he has an 84 free throw. We're going to go ahead and match that as well. So as far as the shooting goes, pretty solid. Like I said, we're going to try and match this pretty close. When I talk about some of those key stats earlier on, I believe these two, the mid-range and the three-point shot, are going to be a couple of those key attribute points, along with like the driving dunk and stuff like that. But by putting that mid-range up to a 92, like I said, you get the gold Deadeye, you get the gold set shot specialist, you get the gold shifty shooter, so you're able to do the fades, all that fun stuff. But because we're 6'3", we also get silver mini marksman as well. Now, if you have cap breakers and you wanted to put this up to a 94 to get the gold mini marksman, by all means, you definitely could do that. Something I might suggest doing, but all in all, I think we did a pretty good job of matching up the shooting on this build, and it's going to be very solid all around as well. So, moving down to the playmaking, again, that's going to be a kind of a, pretty important stat, different stats when we're talking about a De'Aaron Fox type of a build. One thing that kind of surprised me is he only has an 85 pass accuracy. We're going to go ahead and put it right up to that 85 mark. I figured it might be a little bit higher, but 85 is going to be able to get you bronze bailout, which I think is a very important badge to have as a guard in NBA 2K25. His ball control is an 88. Now, another thing I think we should do here is go up at least 2 spots to a 90. You can see that'll get you gold handles for days. If you have cap breakers, I would put 2 more cap breakers on this to get the 92 ball control. It's going to help you get some better dribble animations, things like that. If you want to put more cap breakers on this, go from 90 up to that 94 or 95 threshold to really unlock all the Steve Francis and all those crazy animations and not put anything maybe up on your mid-range. You could do that too, make this build very, very deadly. And then last but not least, the speed with ball. You can see he has a crazy 97 speed with ball, and because of the height and weight and everything we have on this build, we're not going to be able to get quite that high, but I think a very solid way to go about it would be to go 91. You can see that gets you Hall of Fame lightning launch, and if you decide to use your max +1, you could put that on legend, and you are going to be cruising around the court on this build for sure. So looking at some of the badges you get here, you do get that bronze bailout that we talked about. You get the bronze versatile visionary to throw some of the flashies, lobs, different things like that. You get silver break starter for what that's worth, and then you also get the gold dimer so that you can dot your teammates up and help them shoot a little bit better. As far as the playmaking badges, you get the silver ankle assassin. We talked about the gold handles for days. I believe that's a pretty important badge to have, taking those couple of extra attributes to get that 90 ball handle. And like I said, if you wanted to push it up to 94 or 95, get some of those additional attributes using your cap breakers, you could definitely do that. And then the silver unpluckable, I think again pretty solid to have on a build like this. And then we just covered the lightning launch pad. So that will go ahead and do it for the playmaking. Last but not least, we need to move down into the defense. And again, being 6'3" and a guard, nothing too crazy on the defense. Looking at his interior, we're not going to have anything too wild here. We're not going to have paint patroller or anything like that on this build. We're just going to leave the interior defense at a 35. And the reason we're going to put it at 35 is because when we go down here to move our perimeter defense up, it's going to push it to that. His perimeter defense is listed at 84. You can see if we go up to 84, it looks pretty good. but I would put one more tick on there just to get that silver on-ball menace. I think that would be a very nice badge to have for a build like this. So 85 on the perimeter defense. And then one thing kind of along with the pass accuracy that kind of shook me a little bit on this build is he only has a 79 pass accuracy, or 79 steal listed in the game, which is enough to get you silver glove and silver interceptor. But you know, the guy whose nickname is Swipa and averaging 1.5, 1.8-ish steals per game, I kind of thought this would be a little bit higher. But again, trying to stay true to form, we're going to leave it right here at 79. Moving down to the block, as you can see, he only has a 35 block. We're going to throw just a touch extra on here. We have some extra attributes to use up. We're going to put a 45 on there. If you want to leave it at 35, I don't know what the difference between 45 and 35 is really going to do for you. I think when we're all said and done here, if you wanted to take your offensive rebound out and then max out this block, I think that might help you a little bit more. It's not going to help you get up to this 68, which you would need to get the chase down high flying denier badge on bronze. But I think if you wanted to max it out, that would definitely help with shot contests and different things like that. So that's definitely going to be one option if you want to tweak this when it's all said and done. Again, like I just talked about with the offensive rebound, I like to have just a touch in here. I don't know if going 25 to 31 is really going to be worth it or not. But just to try to kind of match what he has, you see on his rebounding, he has 41 offensive and then 54 defensive. And I think the way to go about that is to definitely grab those few extra attributes and go from a 54 to a 60 to get that bronze rebound chaser badge. Like I said, if you wanted to take off your offensive rebound here and turn this block up a little bit, you could definitely go that route. Me personally, this is maybe the way I would go, just to have that extra shot contest. You know, just help out with the block in general. Being on a short build with shorter arms, I think this might be overall the better way to do it. We talked about the silver glove and the silver interceptor. Again, I would think his glove would be a little bit higher, you know, at least gold, if not Hall of Fame, especially when you have the nickname, like I said, you know, of Swipa. But you know, it is what it is. And then with the perimeter defense, you get silver challenger, silver on-ball menace, silver pick dodger, and then the gold off-ball pest. So you're gonna be pretty solid, you know, no slouch on the defensive side. You know, whether you get stuck guarding the ball or you're playing a zone and you're hiding in the corner or whatnot, you're gonna be able to play some lanes, do some different things like that. But like I said, the way I would probably go is take that offensive rebound from the 41, add it, and move your block up from a 45 to a 63. It's not going to change the shades of it or anything like that, as you're going to see here in just a minute. But again, all around pretty solid build. You know, can finish around the rim, can definitely shoot. You know, if you want to use those cap breakers, add on that additional ball handle or into the mid range, you could do that. Make this build just that much better. To close things out here, I want to show you guys the shades of. You see the first one we get there is going to be De'Aaron Fox himself, Damian Lillard, and then Dennis Schroeder. And you can see the build name is going to be a two-way, three-level shot creator. I think that's a pretty solid build name for a De'Aaron Fox type of build. But that's really all I'm going to have for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video. I hope you guys want to see more of these. I plan on doing more of them. Let me know down in the comments which other current NBA players you'd like to see me do, and we'll try to squeeze some of those in along with some of the other stuff we got going on. But that's really, like I said, all I got. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out. Peace.